Hey everyone, today I'm going to go over some new and extremely exciting news that we have for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak on both the Nintendo Switch and on PC via Steam. And that is because we're going to be talking about content that is only currently available as part of the 4th free title update. But of course, if you watch one of my most recent videos where I spoke about regarding the upcoming release of the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC Windows version of Sunbreak, you guys should be able to have access to this content starting in April, at the very least the first or second week of April. So today what I wanted to focus on is showcase just one of these brand new anomaly investigation elder dragons. So today we're going to be start with Kushala Daora, because in this video what I want to showcase is pretty much the differences between the normal risen Kushala Daora that you fight normally through just normal quests that are available through the game, and then the most powerful, crazy over-the-top version you're going to be able to see after you reach Anomaly Investigation level 211. There's a massive change that happens with these monsters, but in order for you to be able to see it, you pretty much need to go through the Anomaly Investigation grind. I know this is a pain in the ass for a lot of people. I've seen a lot of dozens of comments, not only in my videos, but the subreddit is full of stuff like this. Different boards that I've seen are full of people just complaining that the grind is just too much. It's not fun. You're not getting a lot of experience. Trust me, I hear you. I want to make a separate video, talk about how you can level up a little bit faster, but we're going to talk about that at a separate video. Today, what I want to focus on is showcasing the differences between these Elder Dragons, just how different they are, just from one version to another. And essentially, you're going to start seeing some gameplay clips right here for Risen, Kushala Daora. We're going to do each dragon differently because I kind of want to boil down pretty much every single one of the attack differences here. And there's just a lot to go over. So certainly wanted to really dive into this deeply. I want to give a quick shout out to first and foremost Shincry for putting some of these clips together. First and foremost to them, and also the Fan Focus Spain Monster Hunter Twitter account as well. Link in the description below for both their Twitter channels for you guys to check them out. Huge shout out to them for putting these clips together. You're going to see some words in Spanish there. I'll try to do the translating as best as I can. But essentially, you're going to notice that on the upper left side, this is just normal Risen Kushala Daora. This is just a normal version that you fight through the quest, and this is also the version you're going to be fighting if you're doing Anomaly Investigation quest from level 130 all the way to 210. This is just going to be the same Risen Kushala Daora that you're going to be fighting. On the bottom right side, you're going to notice this new version of Kushala Daora is only becoming available after level 211 Anomaly Investigation quest. And you're also going to notice that the icon of it changes a little bit. Now the icon has a little bit more of those like explosion winds around it. And you're going to see this theme going forward for pretty much all the Elder Dragons. I'm going to make a separate video talking about Teostra and Chameleos as well. But first I wanted to talk about Kushala Daora because I think it's the most interesting one and the one that we're going to end up using as a base for whenever we start to talk about Risen Volcana. And yes, that seems to be going to be a thing. I'm going to be talking about leaks in a future video as well regarding the 5th free title update. But for now, I just want to dive into this video because there's just so much to go over. So first and foremost, I'm going to try to slow down the videos and the clips so you can guys see the complete difference of each one of them. But first and foremost, you're going to notice that in the first kind of like wave of attacks, one of the things that normal Kushala Daora, Risen Kushala Daora does is that it just kind of, when it spits out like this normal tornadoes, the black tornadoes that it does, the brown ones, it just spits them out and then it does a subsequent set of them. Whereas this new level 211 Anomaly Investigation version of itself drops 4 wind tornadoes and they all kind of spin around each other. So you're going to notice that they don't necessarily, there's no subsequent ones or anything like that, but there's just like 4 set of them. They spin around each other and they go away. He usually follows that up with an explosion bomb attack as well, so you kind of need to pay attention. With a normal Risen Kushala Daora doesn't really do that all the time. Sometimes he does it. It's not really a guarantee type of thing, but the second one certainly does. In the second clip, we'll also begin to see that he kind of does a charged up, kind of like big, massive attack. That is the one that I kind of like mentioned before. And a different version of that attack would be where he like in the normal Risen Kushala Daora version, he kind of does the winds and then he just kind of does an explosion. But on the new powerful version of him, he does this dive attack like straight up forward, and then he does the big explosion. He doesn't charge it up, he just kind of does it normally. So there's like a little bit of a variation there, but certainly a new set of animations. Another thing you're going to notice is that another one of the attacks is that whenever just not powered up version, so he hasn't done the big explosion, he's not glowing orange or anything like that, Risen Kushala Daora, the normal version, just kind of does one big wind attack directly forward, where now the powered up version does 2 icy breaths, big massive attacks going forward. Another one of the variations you're also going to notice is that when he does go through that transformation, he does the big explosion that he kind of like puts around the big fires around it. He changes a little bit into a different look. He's more powered up at this point in time. The normal Risen Kushala Daora will simply fly upward into the air. Whereas this new version, the new powered up version, will simply just put out 4 tornadoes around it, and he does a dive attack direct forward that is more directly aimed towards the hunter itself. One of the things that these love to do is they reposition themselves, and they're very good at doing that. They're more aggressive, and they're just like, they seem to just be kind of like very better at like adjusting towards the hunters, moving either inward or outward, and we're going to talk about that in one of the upcoming attacks. Another one you're also going to be able to see is that there's a completely new animation for a powered up attack. The breath that he kind of does before kind of like doing the explosion directly downward onto itself, he's actually flying upward and he's sucking in like the icy breath, whereas in the normal Risen Kushala Daora, he just kind of does it in the ground, and then he flies upwards and does the bomb directly into the ground, whereas the other version, he just kind of like flies up, sucks it in, and then he spits it out. So certainly a new powered up version there. And the last attack that we do get to see is a little bit of a combo attack, but the normal Risen Kushala Daora does this as well. And what we're going to be able to see if we focus on the bottom right side is that first and foremost, he does a direct dive attack, kind of like a direct attack forward. Then he flies upward, and you're going to notice that he'll directly adjust his body to whatever the hunter is whenever he does that like big direct like beam attack across an AoE spectrum. So pretty much a cone attack directionally right in front of itself, and this time around he adjusts to whatever it is that the hunter is. A lot of the times what are these monsters doing, he's not the only one that does this type of attack. If you kind of back up or like get close in underneath him, the monster is just going to do that attack directly to where it's like positioned at the point of like impact. Whereas like now he's directly just adjusting to whatever it is the hunter is, and he'll back up, he'll move forward to make sure that his cone attack is going to actually hit one of the hunters, whether it is you're fighting it by yourself, or maybe it'll focus on your Palico or your Palamute or whatever the case is, maybe even a follower if you're fighting it with a follower. But at the end of the day, it will focus on that. So it certainly has a repositioning status that is more aggressive than other monsters as well. So that is pretty much just the attack set that both Far Cry and the Spanish fan site for Monster Hunter kind of were able to pick up on, but they're not the only ones. There are a couple of basic attacks that if you kind of pick up on it, you will be able to see it be more aggressive, a little bit faster. It moves a little bit more directly. It's certainly more aggressive. It reminds me a little bit of like when there was a little bit of a controversy regarding attacks for monsters being tied specifically to the frame rates, whereas on the Nintendo Switch, the game running at 30 frames made the game a little bit easier to play as, where if you're running the game originally on PC, Steam at 120 plus, monsters could kind of like locate you a little bit faster, kind of like adjust to your movement a little bit better, therefore they could hone in their attacks a little bit better, and it was presumed that the attacks were tied specifically to the frame rates. And these versions of these Anomaly Investigation Risen Elder Dragons seem to be focusing more on kind of like being more aggressive, honing in their attacks a little bit more on you, and you know, just doing a little bit more damage than expected. And at the same time, because you're having to grind to level 211 Anomaly Investigation, it will be pretty much one of those things where like the game expects you to have been putting, you know, all the work. Your gear should be maxed out. You should be fighting these things with pretty much all the boosts, all the spare birds, everything already together, because of course these guys are not only going to hit hard, but of course they're really, really powered up, and they have different attacks. A lot of people have suggested that they're kind of like hazard levels of these monsters. If you know anything about the hazard, I recently spoke about this regarding the Hazard Lucent Nargacuga quest, where that Lucent Nargacuga has a brand new set of attacks. You can unlock it after fighting a Volcana, I believe. You fight Volcana and then you unlock this Hazard version of Lucent Nargacuga. These guys seem to be in that same tier as well. So there seems to be new attacks, new powered up moves, and everything that comes alongside that. I will have subsequent videos talking about both Teostra and Chameleos, because they also follow the same kind of format. They have their own attacks, their own formats, and everything along those lines. So once again, huge shout out to Shincry and the Spanish Monster Hunter Rise fan Twitter account. Links in the description below for both of their Twitter channels, so you guys can check them out if you so desire. But if you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.